before AIDS, right, when I was just coming out, and the level of sexual liberation in the gay community was such a big deal. I mean, people were just going wild, right, having sex everywhere. Monogamy was seen as such a cop-out, and it was frowned upon. And there was a book that I remember a bunch of us reading. It was called The Lavender Liberation, I think, but it was sort of this political manifesto around why we don't want marriage. We have our own community, our own culture. Why do we want to mimic this oppressive sort of institution of marriage, and that we have something much better and different? And then AIDS came, and there was this moralistic thing that sort of started to happen, that if you got HIV, if you were a bad person, things became so much more Puritan in a bizarre way. And like, was, oh, you dirty person, you're having sex with, like, you know, whoever and however many people. There was this push to conform and to be like everybody else. So sexual liberation was kind of lost through those AIDS years, and it's maybe just resurfaced now. So different ways of being in a relationship became, there was only one way to be in a relationship, and you had to prove that you were moral and good and were only having sex with your partner forever and ever, amen. And if they ever had sex with somebody else, then that'd be the end of it, sort of thing. My partner and I are part of a team to sponsor a gay couple from Syria, and we just found out this week that they're coming, that we've been in contact with them. They're in Malaysia, which is very exciting because we've been waiting for a long time. So we're just rushing around setting up apartments, and because we often have the meetings here, the planning meetings, and I look around the table and it's like, this feels like it was in 1984. You know, it was bringing people together. They had a shared sense, and most of them are all from other countries, right? They've either been refugees or immigrants themselves, so they've experienced that anxiety, fear, excitement about moving to Canada and being gay in a new place. We connect with our stories, our coming out stories, because my experience of coming out and the experience of discrimination and shame and all that stuff is probably more similar to a younger person who grew up in a very Catholic Filipino country or Nicaraguan country, whatever, than it would be for me to connect with a 20-something-year-old who grew up in Toronto. The coming out stories of these young, new Canadians is so much more like my coming out story. They want to hear, they're hungry to know that you can survive and be okay and, you know, live in a house with a partner for 30 years and have friends, and they're excited by that, right? Get a very different sense of how I'm being perceived. There seems to be an openness or an eagerness to be part of something more intergenerational. It's one of my colleagues' gay son said when we both knew he was gay when he was about 3, and eventually he confirmed that, you know. So he was talking about guy he was meeting and going out on a date with when he was about, I don't know, 19 or something. But his mom, she said, so I guess you're coming out now, are you? And he looked at her and goes, oh, Mom, you're so old school. We don't come out anymore. We were never in. There was no this in-out thing, right? And I thought, oh, wow, how things have changed. I mean, at some point in your late 40s, you sort of become invisible. It's the same thing that straight women talk about, right? They become invisible to that male gaze. So, and sex and sexuality is such a big deal particularly in the gay world. That's still a key piece. So there's something around how you're invisible if you have no sexual capital. So there's no use for you, kind of thing, or you're not really a player or something. I kind of wonder sometimes if there's no interest by younger men in the lives of older men. Because there isn't that sort of sexual tension there, there's not that, you know, why bother sort of thing.